good for my man Zomba. Pikachu Rob is lauded by so many Rob players as being one of, if not the worst matchup for Rob. So,
yeah.
We've seen how confident Mr. L has been an advantage, and we've seen how eager he is, how accepting he is of just being able to reset to neutral and just play it out again and again and again. We saw that in the set with Sharp before, too.
Yeah, and I really like that Mr. L opened this game off just by retreating to the other side of the stage, anticipating a laser or a gyro, but now this is where it gets really, really difficult for Zomba. And a beautiful parry. That came just from such a strong idea of Zomba's next landing option. He was so confident that he wanted to land back onto the stage aggressively, and he punished him appropriately.
Depending on the spacing, it's actually the best course of action right there to parry that Rob Nair. So guys, practice your parries on Rob Nair.
Yeah.
Oh,
buddy.
My man got caught Robin in broad daylight. So the stage is pretty close to the ceiling of PS2, so if you're caught pretty up there, you're going to die off the top pretty early.
Yeah, that's tough. You just got to hold that. I like Mr. Gull's idea that he tried to maybe catch a double jump from Zomba, and there it is. Multi-hits and shield poke and grab. Either Zomba released a shield or he got shield poked. Either way, nasty position. Mr. Gull tries to find the grab. I think he wanted to fast fall in that position and just didn't get it.
Oh. Okay. They're gonna, Zomba said it's no big deal, play it out. That's respectable, honestly. You know? That could have relatively been a very controversial moment of this tournament.
Yeah.
But Zomba being the homie, he's like, it's alright. Mid-Pikachu combo too, my man was like, that's cool.
Yeah. Zomba keeps trying to find these landings, but Mr. Gull is doing a good job of just occupying that space preemptively and catching him before his nail can come out. Even though those buttons are big, you need a lot of space to get them, and Pikachu can get through pretty quickly and throw out a much faster button. So Zomba just needs to slightly adjust his timing.
That's the thing, with how nimble Pikachu is, and also how, well, in this case, her boxes shift around Rob, it's pretty hard to hit, especially if Mr. L is going to continue playing so grounded, because, it's up to Zomba to really land, get hits on landing every single time, and you can't really do that against Pikachu. Mr. L is just going to react accordingly every single time.
Oh, Zomba whiffing that pivot grab, just forced to press the immediate button, and just like that, Mr. L found his opening to be able to get back onto the stage, sets up the tap chase. Is he going to find the follow-up? Yes, he is.
What a weight
that positioning. Right that position,
he
covered everything that Zomba could have possibly done. Because once you put them into the corner, suddenly you take away the mix between neutral get up and tech roll out, because they become the same option. So Mr. L set that up, and he was able to get the kill as a result.
And he was, and given his positioning, he was able to react to any amount of directions Zomba was going to do, whether he neutral get up or rolled or did anything else. Mr. L had the positioning correctly to react to any of those scenarios. So it was really, really well played. And he's still keeping momentum up.
Look how tricky he is.
Yeah.
Just jumping over Rob, constantly getting really mixy with a lot of his beauty releases as well. But now Zomba has Mr. L off stage, was able to force out the double jump and caught him hanging onto ledge a little bit too long. Mr. L just not ready for that option.
We've been seeing Mr. L put in a lot of work with these combos, but Zomba has been able to wrap up his stocks very, very well. He's not been letting himself lead too much right now against Mr. L.
Yo, Zomba is playing with fire the way that he keeps trying to go high. Mr. L just not letting him have any of it. That is not going to send to the left, but only to the right. So still going to be living another day, but Zomba took so much. He took like 4 down Bs.
I like how he has been trying to find his way down, because honestly, Pikachu can shark those landings from wherever you're at, literally. Yeah. Oh, tried to go for the confirm right there. May have been out of percent or just didn't hit it correctly or what have you, but that's a big sign of life there for Zomba. He's got to make sure he doesn't get hit by this thunder, though. You see Mr. L just sharking this landing so perfectly.
Not going to kill quite yet, but the next one definitely will. I love that Mr. L just not overextending, just trying to catch Zomba's next option. Playing so patiently. Oh, wow.
The parries. Guys, parry that Nair. You can punish it. Everyone's complaining about Rob Nair. I can't do anything about it. It's too good. It's so big. It
if you think it's coming, if you know it's coming.
Parry.
Parry.
It doesn't even have to be reactive either. If you anticipate it coming, parry it. It's good.
Zomba's just been doing that almost exclusively in 2 applications. He hasn't been using it in neutral as much as he normally would, but he's always going for...
Look at the default smirk on Mr. L's face right now, bro.
Yeah.
My man's looking confident. Zomba's big thinking. Look at how my man is debating a character counter pick most likely at this point. Zomba is a multi-character specialist as well. This kid does random money matches, multiple character money matches all the time. This kid lives and breathes Smash Bros. So I'm wondering if he's debating going for a different character. Ooh, the OG Zomba Classic, maybe.
Maybe. He's still thinking about it. But what I really wanted to say about like Rob and Zomba was like, I feel like Zomba just been using it almost exclusively. A, as a way to get back onto the stage, and B, as a way to land. And both of those can be really, really good. But once, I mean, Mr. God plays this matchup so often.
Yeah, he does.
He knows it's coming. He's ready for it. And if you already got that lead on him, God can't do too much to mix up his drift. Oh boy.
The thing is, yeah, the name of the game here is disadvantage, and I think Rob's disadvantage against Pikachu is pretty abysmal. You know, so Zomba's gonna have to find ways to either trade with Mr. L's Pikachu here, or he's gonna have to find ways to just get these stocks off. Perhaps just get himself caught in the air a little bit less on landing. Maybe play a little bit more grounded.
Yep. Oh, Cat sat down and Cat tries to catch the next option. I love the attempt and the dash back for Mr. L. The attempt was phenomenal, but once again, just trying to catch these landings. But Zomba, I believe, has adjusted the spacing. He's putting out those neutral legs from a much higher point, at a point where Mr. L is not close enough to call him out.
That's true, and again, Zomba has just been trying to land these nairs consistently, and Mr. L is just not taking the bait. He's not jumping. He's just playing very grounded.
What a
Still
catch.
gonna get caught by the arm rotor right there. Really, really good play right there by Zomba, as Mr. L has been going to ledge most of the time, and did manage to catch it right there.
Just putting so much pressure onto the shield. Zomba was so ready for the roll in, was not able to find a punish, but that's, wow. Zomba's now just taking his advantage straight all the way.
And he's just trying to extend that lead as far as he can. He knows these stocks are so precious, especially against a character like Pikachu that can just wipe his stock off, or just honestly keep him at disadvantage the entire time. But we've been noticing Zomba playing a little bit more reactively, a little bit more grounded. He's not really jumping into Mr. L or trying to land on top of him anymore. He's more so trying to approach from a mid-range where it's a little bit more ambiguous for Mr. L to guess what the approach option is going to be.
I also just think Zomba has adjusted his spacing in a lot of ways that makes him a lot safer. So he's pressing a lot of the same buttons just by positioning himself differently. He's not getting hit nearly as much. Mr. L, maybe one too many ledge mix-ups. Catching Zomba, pressing a button. Now Mr. L just needs to be able to find a way to close out the stock, but here's a big issue with Pikachu. Pikachu can't kill normally.
Yeah.
How do you kill Gog?
Either with a confirm or some sort of straight hit off stage or an edge guard, but Zomba has been recovering high every time, which is exactly the opposite of what Mr. L wants him. Pikachu loves to go deep.com against Rob, but if you're recovering high almost every single time, there's no way for Pikachu to really give you a lot of guesswork there.
Pikachu has 2 win conditions. Well, one of those is going to be dash attack, but Pikachu has 2 win conditions, and that's going to be, can I F smash you at ledge with a ledge trap, or can I get an edge guard? And Zomba, by going high consistently, he is completely invalidating Mr. L. When you do that, what a snipe.
Sniped him.
What a snipe.
That's a JV3 right there, Dara. In Rob Pikachu. A matchup where Rob players cry and hide when they hear that they have to play against Pikachu.
That adaptation was excellent.
Fantastic. Yeah, he played way more grounded. His spacing improved really, really immaculately. I feel like Mr. L got a little too complacent after his game 1. I feel like he started trying to force Zomba in the same situations that he experienced game 1, but Zomba's already adapted successfully. You know, he's already adjusted his spacing. He's already played a little bit more grounded. You notice game 1 he was trying to approach from right above Mr. L every single time. This time he's coming in from neutral, from center stage. And that can be tough for Pikachu to deal with, because if you're trading with Pikachu, that's not what Pikachu wants. Pikachu wants to be an advantage at all times.
One big challenge for Mr. L going to be going into the set is how is he going to be able to find his way to get back onto the stage. I think the pick to go to Town City is excellent because he does now have a recovery mix-up.
Yeah.
To go to the Plats.
Yeah, Plats as well. He's also got the stage itself and ledge, so he's got a few more options at his disposal than he had previously. Still, again, Zomba trying to play the same way, but Mr. L trying to navigate around these platforms to find some sort of opening, but Zomba's just not taking the bait. But here we go. Welcome to Pikachu's Magic Ride.
Oh no, going to be landing a little bit too soon. Doesn't find the immediate follow-up. Catches that double jump, and there is the parry once again. Mr. L has been calling Zomba out through those all day long. Tries to get it that time around.
Wow.
Wow.
These loops have been so good, and again, we're seeing the same problem. Zomba got a little bit antsy there, tried to land with the nair. Perfect parry by Mr. L, and he's in advantage now. Don't want to get Pika the driver's seat.
As Rob, what do you even do in disadvantage in that position? You can try to go high, maybe go for a bit of a different landing mix-up, but when you're getting that close to Pikachu,
you have a third option. Praying.
Oh, that forward on the Town and City side plats, not even going to be able to do it quite yet. Anybody else? That would have definitely been it. You see, now we're seeing that stalling.
That was so smart by Zomba right there. You know, he utilized his gas really, really well. And the thing is, that's going to eliminate more gas for him to potentially use off stage, so he's got to be careful when he's recovering like that. But a perfect dash attack by Mr. L right there. And that's, you know, he's up right now, so really he can start playing a little bit more Thunder Jolty, a little more whiff punishy. He doesn't really have to approach Zomba.
Oh, gets that forward. That's going to be another follow-up. I love that VGBootCamp T-choke as he recognizes he has no true follow-up there.
Angle your shield. No! If your shield's that small and you're in the corner against Pikachu, also after I believe, I don't think that follows the consecutive hits clause because it's not like a rapid jab. It's not a consistent hit. Like there are gaps in between Pikachu's jab.
That up who almost does it. Zomba just is doing a good job of once again not letting Mr. L have the space that he needs. Dashes back. Mr. L, that hitbox was just outside of hitting Zomba. So close.
All right, though, Mr. L back in the driver's seat again. Actually going to fall out of it, but still managed to stay locked on the platform right there very, very nicely. Oh, man.
Oh, he's waiting. I love the way that Zomba's picking the times when he dashes and walks, too. In that moment, he saw that jump, was like, wait, I can get back to center of the stage. You just committed a little bit too deep.
I love the drag back nairs here, just kind of making it a little bit more guesswork heavy for Mr. L to anticipate when Zomba's going to take an option aggressive on shield.
Oh, going to be getting that up. Tries to maybe find this juggle. Is going to be looking for some sort of a parry punish. No, not quite yet.
Oh, wow. Zomba went for it all right there. All right, though. Still
that's Town and City. Those are those recovery mix-ups. And Mr. L was able to get off of the ledge as a result. He has one more thing that Zomba needs to cover. Catches him mid-air. Such a good air-to-air option. Oh, my. This is
going
so scary.
high, dude. I think it's the right call every single time. You know, Pikachu wants to take you off stage, take you deep. If Zomba's recovering high every single time, he completely mitigates both ledge play and edge guard play.
Excellent parry once again. Just such a good understanding of just how big that back heel is.
Wow.
And speaking of how big that back heel is, he was completely behind him, crossed him up, and killed him. Damn.
And now Mr. L finding himself down a little bit. Zomba trying to keep the bleeding going on Mr. L right now, picking such smart places to land. But again, another parry on the nair. Zomba may have to mix up his landing options just a little bit more. You know, Dare might be a little riskier, but it also mixes up the timing.
Those have been all of his openings. All of Mr. L's openings have been catching Zomba, jumping.
This is horrible.
Oh, no.
This is horrible for Zomba right now because now Mr. L's position is so high on the platform. The shark landing's a little bit more effectively now. This is really scary, but luckily Zomba managing to find center stage control once again.
But, oh wow, such good fade backs with these neutral air. Zomba spacing them so safely. Tries to go for the all coverage option there and sets up another juggle. This is looking so good for Zomba, but one pulley dash attack on shield is going to put him off stage.
That laser by Zomba was so smart because it forced Mr. L to air dodge there, and Zomba was coming right in for the grab after sharking the landing. So Zomba's sense of advantage in juggling has been so good.
Those have been all of Mr. L's openings. All of these jumps and all of these neutral airs are getting consistently punished. Mr. L almost gets it. His spacing so close.
Where's DJ Khaled when you need him, Oh, God. No jump left on Mr. L. Oh, and I lied. I'm a big fibber. Went for it all. Almost had the right read. He just spaced it a little bit better. Mr. L taking a 2-1 over Zomba with the monstrous pop-off right there. Well-deserved, too. This is the run of Mr. L's life right now. I believe that puts him in winner's quarters right now.
He's living it up. I am so happy
all
to see his
to
team.
A rat, bro. All to a little rat. So, a little rat that could.
There was a little something. Sean, I love you, man.
Love you too, bro.
There's a little something that I wanted to mention about the set.
Yes.
I feel like Zomba is playing so well, but literally all of Mr. L's openings have been on Zomba's neutral airs.
Every single time. You can make a highlight.